Hi everyone, Lemon Cupcake, and together with my co-host,
Okap, welcome.
and welcome to the official first episode of the Whistle Talk. We took the feedback from the pilot and we did most of them in this update. So now we have a different location in the Black Cats, so it should be easier for us too. The pilot setup is still going to be used for the guest mode. Obviously, with the coffee supporters, I got better equipment, so I should sound better. And this time, Okap and me made sure that our audio should be as almost as balanced as it can be. I hope so, but
Should be. It
should
should
be.
be. We'll see.
But you will see. But whatever. But yeah, for all further ado, let's begin episode 1 of the podcast, and that is themed.
Retro gaming. One of those categories that I feel really comfortable in.
Yes, we're gonna talk about retro gaming. This was my choice. Every time we change the choice to make it easier. So we have a few bullet points. Let's begin with the beginning. OCAP. What is retro gaming for you?
For me, well, I could actually kind of categorize it for like two uh things. The first one is total retro, which is like I don't know, SNES, NES, those early days, or even Amiga, those really early days of development and games that are just going to be born in and made into future generations. And the second category is less retro, but at the same time it is. And also, it's like sort of a memory lane, like those games that are like classics, those games that you go back when you played as a child, as a kid on like old PC or a really old console, and it just gives you good memories. That's what I classify as retro because it's not like I can call like GTA 5 at this point a retro game because it's like over 10 years. Like, I mean, not really. There is like a specific boundary for me that I need to like consider this as a retro game. So I guess those early days of gaming, of development, is something that I can call a retro gaming.
Understandable. Well, when it comes to me, retro gaming is more simple. If the game is too old or not available anymore to play on current devices, to the point you have to use specific tools to get there, then I classify as retro. GTA 5 is too early to be retro because you can still play it. Minecraft is still too early. It's like the
Theoretically, Minecraft
earliest.
can be categorized as a retro gaming if it comes about like those early versions of Minecraft. Like really,
I,
really early versions, like 1.6, 1.5, those, or even 1.2, 1.0. Those old games can be categorized sort of as a retro gaming.
sorta, but it's more like very old school Windows XP and before time. Like when you cannot play that. Like for example, I think Heavy Weapon, a game I love to play, can be kind of classified as it because it's a super old game, and other than the Xbox consoles, you can't really play the game anymore. But yeah, that's what retro gaming is to me and to OCAP.
IC
But
Tower can, oh god, that thing also can be easily categorized as a retro game. Back in the days of
yes,
Windows 95 and you play it, oh god.
we're getting old, guys. But yeah, I mean, without
Yeah,
further ado, let's go
unfortunately.
to the bullet point. Um, some experiences we had with retro gaming. And I'll start first because Oka will probably have a long sentence. So I'll start first.
Most likely, yeah, most likely, yeah.
My experience with retro gaming. I mean, from time to time, I like to play a classic game. I played the original Pokemon games. That was just it was supposed to be for a video, but I played them. That was nice. Going back to the old days. I played some older games, like I said, Heavy Weapon. I wanted to play that. On Steam, I had Platypus or Platypus, which is like a clay gunship game. And
Yeah, that's a platypus.
I am trying to get my hands on Balance, which is an Atari game, but Balance is just hard to get on modern systems because they only sold as a physical DVD or CD thingy. But I don't have much experience with retro games because I am the opposite of OCAP over here. I love new stuff. I like the brand new up to beta category stuff. So I'm more like, oh, this is a new fancy game. Let me play that thing instead of like, oh yeah, I want to emulate 30-year-old games because I miss that time or something. That's not my thing. So yeah, for me, retro gaming is a very simple lifestyle. It's only those few nostalgic trips, and that's it. But okay, your turn.
Oh, my experience of retro gaming is really big. Like, for me, as someone who is actually kind of young, I have quite a long experience of retro gaming. Since right now, I own a 2DS, I own a Wii, I own N64. I have quite like amount of emulators that I was playing with, and those this experience is like, oh god. So I'll start first, like with the oldest console I have, like Nintendo 64. Um, when I was like something around 8, I even started from this early age play Mario 64, which in back in that day was also considered as a retro game. As yeah, as I said, this is the first ever 3D game that Nintendo developed, and it was so like unpolished. It had so many bugs, but that was the one magical thing that I wanted. I also loved platform games. I am really a great fan of the platform games. So Mario 64 was like a really nice game to me for me to play. I still remember to this day when I just waited for the opening menu, like for the opening scene of Mario 64. This castle, like camera zooming in out to Mario jumping out of the pipe. Right now, at this point, I hate this scene because it takes so much of my gameplay that I need to just sit here and wait. But yeah, so I have Nintendo 64 right now in my room. From time to time, I am tempting to just go to my mom's room, just plug it to like 42-inch TV and just play it. And oh boy, this low quality that I have, like it's 480p, I guess, through this AV cable. Oh god, it's like something. It hits different when I see it compared to like emulators and 110 like 1080p quality. It's something magical when I just play it like that. I also have other games on N64, but yeah, I'm a big Mario fan, so unfortunately, this is the only title I mostly play. I need to go back to those games and see what I can do with them. But yeah, then I can go to like 2DS right now, as that was a console that I got before Wii. With that one, yeah, of course, I was before I got even any console, I was constantly emulating stuff because I wanted to see the old stuff, play it, somehow manage to play it. So I used to play a lot of DS and 3DS games on my PC, with the software I cannot
Yes.
list here. And oh boy, again, the quality wasn't great. It was really low, but that's something magical that I like, seeing the that early stage of using that type of like sprites, textures. And yeah, my couple of favorite games from here was definitely New Super Mario Brothers, then Mario Brothers 2 from for 3DS, of course Mario Maker. Like, come on, Mario Maker, like, okay, Mario Maker, can Mario Maker actually be classified as a retro game? No, I don't think
No,
so.
no,
Not yet.
it's too
Not
new.
yet. At least not. No. It cannot yet. But the Mario Brothers DS definitely can be. Mario Kart DS, not. No, not yet. But of course, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't emulate stuff on like different consoles on that 2DS. And of course, I had a lot of like bunch of like games that I used to play on 2DS itself, like classic Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD. Um, that was also really nice. And the thing that is portable is even better because I can always take it somewhere and just play it casually. Um, then oh boy, like after emulating a lot of stuff, I got the ultimate weapon to my collection, which is Wii, and one of the consoles that I definitely wanted to get as this
Understandable.
unique control. The one unique controller that is used as a god damn remote as a TV remote. It also is like, damn, that is revolutionary. And Nintendo even took this idea to Switch, which I really appreciate. That you have a motion control, you have like s- simple layout that is actually working, and like extension for controller, like nunchuck classic controller. Damn, that was something that like, oh yeah, I really loved it. It was pain to emulate, especially binding every key to like swing, rotate, shake the Wiimote. Like Jesus, those controls on PC were horrible to map, but I somehow was able to do it somehow. Um, yeah, a lot of things with Wii, a lot of modding, a lot of like homebrewing it, and trying to restore some services that were down, like for example news channel, weather channel. Yeah, they still work in this day. People made like servers that they're constantly refreshing this
Interesting. Good to
stuff
know.
on Wii. Uh, Fans are going to make a lot of things, even like they made like right now entire service for 3DS and Wii U, like this online service, fun made, and from scratch, literally. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
kind of play online games again on Wii U, I mean, and 3DS. Uh, uh, another experience with old games and retro gaming is, geez, amount of bugs I was able to pull off on those games. For example, classic Mario 1, Mario Lost Levels, like wall climbs, and other clips, and many different type of glitches and bugs that I was able to recreate from YouTube videos is also like an achievement. I felt like I can do something fun with it, and if I can learn like executing this, and I can do some really awesome stuff with it. The greatest example is like item cloning in Mario 64, where I can just like do some magic and I have invisible item in my hand and I can just clone it, so I can do some shenanigans with like item layout and stuff. Uh, I'm rambling about like nerd stuff right now at this
He
point,
loves
but
retro gaming, as you can see.
yeah, I'm a big fan of it. My console collection is going to expand in the future, definitely. But for now, I need to wait. Um, what I also like about retro is like, especially about like Wii, because it is right now, we can classify this as a retro console.
Oh, the Wii
Uh,
is. But according to
the Wii is
Nintendo,
old enough,
no. According to Nintendo, only until GameCube. But Nintendo just makes up rules as we go. But yeah, the Wii is old enough.
unfortunately. Yeah. I really like the idea of Wii having like those remotes, and I am still to this day from time to time hooking my Wii to like TV in my mom's room, and me and my siblings are playing like Mario Kart Wii or Wii Party, like in with full force set. That's something magical. Another experience of retro gaming is how easy it is to modify. For example, all of ROM hacks, so many things that people can actually like create out of the base that was already here is astonishing. It's like breathtaking. And one of the greatest hacks I was able to play were like newer Super Mario Brothers DS and newer Mario Brothers Wii, and like those two hacks were made with like
Didn't you
dedication because it
stream
took like
that?
3 years.
Didn't you
I did
stream?
actually.
Yeah.
I'm streaming. I was streaming the Wii version, and the DS version is in process. Let's just say it like that. But those hacks were made with dedication because it took like 3 years of it from for developers of them to literally make this entire engine that runs this new stuff that you can implement to the game, and a lot of like Kaiser ROM hacks and how you can change the experience of the game to like hell. For example, the greatest example is Mario World, where people are making so much stuff that it's really hard to pull out some tricks and some stuff that you learn. Like Jesus Christ, it is like the new game, especially Mario World is like one of the biggest game from Nintendo that is like Mario series that is actually ROM hacked. Because yeah, it has a lot of potential. Even to this day, like people are like finding a lot of stuff. and a lot of great music from like old chips,
Yeah,
like
that's one of the
especially
benefits
SNES
of
chip
retro
is.
gaming. You can modify a
It,
lot of stuff because you can now.
yeah, we have a lot of tools like back compatibility and let's just say like backward engineering to the point that we even know which specific code is being executed in that specific thing. Like yeah, people are went through that so massively that is even impressive. Um, there's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours material by one YouTuber explaining why there are invisible walls in Mario 64, and Jesus, a lot of research
Three and
was
a half
done here.
hours to explain just that. Wow.
Yeah, because there are a lot of informations about why this even happens, what's the reasoning, and what are the mistakes and stuff like this. For Mario
Okay.
64, 3.5 hour video.
Noted.
I watched almost 2 hours and I fell asleep. It was quite late. It was quite late when I was watching that, but still, knowing more stuff about this is like, yeah, it's really nice to see, and helps me prevent from like, yeah, screwing myself further around, for example. Uh, I think that's all for now.
All
I
right, that
guess that's all I actually remember.
there was a lot of explaining, but that's good because
A lot of
that's the
experience.
difference between
Hell
you
yeah.
and me. Is like I had all of these devices in the past. I don't need to go back because it's in my memory. For years, like you wanted to experience them, so now you can. So now you just let's call it like getting a bit of your childhood back. I guess like earning it back.
Sort of, yeah.
For
Theoretically,
me,
yes. We was released like when I was like, I don't know, 3 years old. So theoretically, I could get it in the past, but I didn't because I didn't have like an opportunity.
it's like for example, like I have Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion, and it comes with like so many emulators of the NES, the SNES, the N64, the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, and the Game Advance, and the Sega Saturn, whatever. I don't care.
I think Genesis
And
even.
yeah, I don't care. Like, oh, cool! I can play these old, outdated games on my Switch. And I don't care. And Oak's like, oh, I care. I want to play. Like, that's how the difference between retro gaming between Okap and me. Because to me, I'm gonna be honest, these games are too old. Like, Okap plays Mario 64 so much, and I'm just looking at like, nope, I can't play that. Nope. I have the same with movies, like with Toy Story 1. Like that movie, I can't see it anymore. Like my modern brain can't go back too fast unless it's like sprite based, like the Pokemon games, which are timeless. But early 3D stuff, no. I like the DS games a lot. They were from a great time. Some I like to experience back. With the Wii, no. I am glad I don't own the Wii anymore. The Wii was so niche and so weird that back then it was cool. But now it's like I prefer an classic game box with classic controls. It was too ahead of its time. So for me, I wouldn't go back. But speaking of that, let's go to the next bullet point, which continues. Is retro gaming better than modern gaming? You can go first.
Okay. I mean, here we have 50-50. Um, it is good. It is definitely good. And we have massive amount of people still going back to retro gaming and still looking forward to see new things that can be explained, found, or even changed, or literally like anything with retro gaming. And this is like still a fuel for a lot of people to actually like uh go further with this, and it still brings a lot of like memories and stuff, or even learning still to this day a lot of tricks, a lot of like things, or even just going back to past and just try to play it and see how it was back in the day compared to what it is right now is also a massive change. And there are also a lot of people still going back for it, but also it has downsides. Like the other side, it's not really better, as you know, those games were undeveloped and we had tiny amount of things we could do here. So after a certain time, it can start to get boring, and you're like, I already know a lot. I already wanted to achieve what I wanted to do, like what I want. Or for example, in my case, I was able to beat Mario 64, so I'm like just casually going here from time to time, maybe test something, but it's like quite boring. Um, and there are a lot of new games that have like they have like open world. You have unlimited resources. The greatest example is Minecraft with the new version. Like it gives so much stuff for an open world game that it is like beating to ashes a lot of games back in the day, and a lot of remakes, remasters, that they bring back to life stuff in the past, but in like a newer format that you actually want to enjoy and see. Like, oh, now like we have the Luigi Mansion 2 remastered. Like, that's like it's a great example of it was kind of meh on DS or 3D. Oh, that was on 3DS, and now it's a reboot, and probably some things are changed, so you it might look better and you might enjoy it uh, way more than an original game. So yeah, it is 50-50. It's good to go back and it's good to still explore it, but also there are new games that needs attention and they are actually really good and developed by a proper team with a proper machines. Like for example, in that case, let's just say I am going to say GTA 5 at this point because this game is not going to die soon as I see because there are still a lot of online services and stuff that you can do. Yeah, like compared to those old games, it's still a game that I can consider that I would play a lot because yeah, it gives you a lot of way more content. We are not speaking about the size of the games because right now,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you need to get at least 4 terabytes of drive to fit 4 games in this. At
Why
this
is
point,
it that
yeah,
big?
I'm just like joking. I
Oof.
original Mario Brothers is like 36 something around less than 100 kilobytes, I guess. Or it's definitely way less than a megabyte. And like GTA 5, for example, is like 100 gigs.
Oh my,
How,
that's big.
when? When? I ask when.
Fancy modeling.
Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah,
I thought
that's literally my
okay.
opinion.
Well, for me, it's more like let's see, like modern gaming is more like games need to be online. They will not work offline. They are technically not even downloaded locally. There's always like a server patch. Some games run on servers. Most games will be shut down once the stores are shut down. And of course, some DLCs are included, season passes, expansion passes, and a lot of quirky stuff. While back in my day, back in the past, you bought a game, it was there on the thing itself. It played locally on the thing itself, and internet was not required, and everything was on the box. There was no DLC and stuff. So, in the retro gaming aspect, it was just get game, play game, stop game. But now it's like this and that. You need to do this and patch and this and that. To the point, it's more of a chore and a hassle to enjoy modern gaming, combining with what Okap said, like modern games are like you said GTA 5, but I'm gonna go worse. Call of Duty is like the biggest crime in this. They have the most unoptimized PC games on the planet, which almost surpasses 200 gigabyte by now for one game. So no, but why? Why so much gigabyte for a game? Because I know games that have more content and high quality resolution that have less. So I know they can handle it. And yeah, it's like it's a 50-50 for me as well because with retro gaming, I would like to have the system of retro gaming back. That's why I play a lot of single player games because I don't want to care about all that. I just want to buy a game, play game, end game. Simple. I don't care about servers and connectivity and force me to have an online subscription to even play the game. I just wish there was something that merged the two. Like modern graphical games, but plug and play games. No DLCs, no expansion passes, just you get what you get. Indie games are a great example of what they are. They're like trying to get that feeling back of the past. They have like old graphics or sprites. You buy the game itself, and that's all you need, and you just enjoy. And it's made out of people that care about it. But now it's more like corporations and greed and scammy. Helldivers 2's debacle is the great example of what greed
Oh
can do
yeah,
to people.
this actually like yeah, this is quite funny. Like what happened with this one.
Yeah, it's like
Not gonna
one
lie.
of the most popular server multiplayer games you can play right now. And Sony just got jealous. And they nuked the PC gaming platform. They fought back, and now they undid it. But I think the damage has been done. Like you wouldn't have this. And in the past with the Battlefront Star Wars games, the remakes, the remasters, whatever, the PS2 games that got ported over, they are horribly optimized. They have glitches. They stole DLCs that someone made from mods, and then the servers are broken. Like,
Wait, really? They did
yeah,
it?
someone made a mod, and then there was a fan made mod, and this guy just uploaded it as a mod again. But this remade in the box has that mod included, and they call it their own. So yeah, that's
Excuse me, what
how.
are the actual
Yeah, it's like skins or
what type
something.
of hypocrisy it is to get this? At least GTA 5 had balls and they actually took the guy that created 5M, which is the most played GTA 5 roleplay thing, and they hired him for GTA 6 and gave him money. And also another thing, at least GTA 5 had balls, and we used to. I still remember myself that we used to wait at least half an hour to go to online lobby in GTA 5. There was a guy who took files, just fix it, and guess what? Rockstar even paid him for this because he improved loading time from 13 minutes to less than 5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It is That's what I like about Rockstar. At least that one aspect I like about Rockstar. They
I wish
kind of
more
care.
companies were like that. But yeah, but when it comes to the Battlefront, it's more like scammy. The company is apparently known to just rip games off and just upload them. They did the last with another Star Wars game, like Natural Republic, and they keep doing that. That's how they are. But that's what I mean. Like they're trying to lure the retro gamers that want to play them and just scam them legally. Let's call it that. So I would prefer a mix of both. Retro gaming is too old to play alone because it's not fun anymore, at least not in that context. And modern gaming has some fun aspects, but companies ruin it for us. So, yeah, it's in the middle for me as well. It's complicated. I can't choose. Um, the last bullet point is should retro gaming come back? So, Okap, should it come back? Should it be the norm
I
to
can
play?
probably say, actually, I can probably say yes. This simplicity that was back in the day with modern tools can actually make something good. Simple but good. And also, yeah, as I said, I'll be saying a lot of the simplicity, but this is the major point of retro. The simplicity of things that they just run. And as I said, with modern tools, we could actually do a lot of stuff. As people are doing massive stuff with like Case is doing major optimization with Mario 64 to the massive new engine for entire Nintendo 64, and it runs smoothly with 4 times more objects, Mario World with massive amount of new content and new physics that you would never expect in this game, Mario Brothers with a lot of exploits that people are doing right now at this point. Is there's still a YouTuber that is exploring a lot of exploits about this game, and I'm just saying about Mario games, but there are a lot of different games. Like even classic like Sonic games are also modded a lot, and they also utilize like a lot of coding and a lot of like backward engineering to do the magic. And I would definitely say yes. I want to see more of this stuff in the new format as people are doing right now at this point. Because we have a lot of knowledge, a lot of resources to do it. And it will be like going back in the days when it was so simple. Like you just plug this, click this, and you have a game instead of like waiting 14 minutes until you will turn on your PC. Your game will load, and probably you're not going to burn your CPU in the meantime.
Fair. All right. Well, for me at least, I think it should come back. Like if you would tell me, hey, remember this game you played 20 years ago? We're just gonna grab the file, make it compatible with Windows 11 and the latest game consoles and iOS and Android, and we just upload it and just buy it for like $5. I will buy it because pretty cool. If you actually make it compatible with modern hardware, you don't ask too much money because it's fair, and you give credit if there is tweaks that a fan made. At least give credit. For me, they can all come back. You can call them classic games, like even with mobile games, same story. Like bring them back, bring the old PC consoles, like not just backward compatibility, like just upload like a version of that. Just I would like retro gaming to come
So in
back
short,
and
you
be a
just want
norm.
a massive remaster, but with actual good remaster.
Yeah,
Not like
just
Nintendo did with Mario 64 on Mario All Stars
def
and other games.
definitely not. What I would have done if I was Nintendo was just release Mario 64 for Nintendo Switch and just do some minor tweaks to make it really make sense and just
Uh,
upload
I
it.
wanna I wanna hold you on this one, as Mario 64 is quite complicated if it comes about changing it and optimizing.
Not too bad,
I
Nintendo can
shown you a
fry it.
couple. I shown you like one or two videos of Case what he was doing, and it's literally going straight through the source code of Mario 64 to change how it works to work better, because they made a lot of mistakes. They used a lot of tools that could have changed, like they could use different tools instead of what they used, and it will be a smoother experience. So unfortunately, with your that one specific example is quite complicated. But for
Okay, but you
example, they did a good job. I know what you mean by saying that they did a massively good job with remastering Mario All Stars on SNES from NES. Doing this remaster was actually good. They improved like entire graphic system and sound engine, and they kept like sort of a physics. So it was like a game, but with a new stuff. So they should do something similar like this.
yeah, they should, and they can get some money out of it. It's a win-win. We can play them, you can get money. So I guess that's all we have for this time when it comes to the podcast with retro gaming. We learned a lot today and heard a lot of vocab today. Before I end the podcast, I
Yeah, this
want
one is
to
that was my episode this time.
Before I want to end this podcast, I want to thank everyone for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast or have feedback, make sure to comment below that. And make sure to like and subscribe the YouTube channel VRInfinity if you would like to hear or YouTube related see more content. I am your main host, Lemon Cupcake. You can find me on Twitch with love Lemon Cupcake VRInfinity and the same for Instagram. And what about you, Okap?
You can find me on my main channel, which will be probably pinged in a description. From here, you can also find me on Twitch, on Instagram, and I think that's all from my main social medias.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for listening slash watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.
See ya.